It's your source of everything alternative, from politics, music, extreme sports, etc. I'm here with Aaron Rose, a local singer-songwriter from the Boulder area. How are you doing today, Aaron?
Doing great. How are you?
Good, good.
Awesome.
It's good to have you out today.
Thanks.
I guess the first question I had, I guess our viewers would be, what got you into music exactly?
Well, as a younger child, I used to just listen to my mom and dad's vinyl records, with them, and music was big in our household. Not really as performers, but just as music appreciators. So I would always be singing along with the records, and at family functions, I would sing and dance, and just kind of try to entertain the family, the grandparents and aunts and uncles, and they really encouraged that with me. Got into the band a little bit in high school, but that didn't really last. I wasn't ever really that dedicated to practicing or having the discipline to do that. But when I started college, I think it was after the first year of college, we came back home to, I'm actually from just outside Memphis, Tennessee, a little town called Somerville. So I went to college in Memphis, and then when we came back to Somerville the first summer, there was a little on our farm, we have some tenant houses, or what they call tenement houses. And my mom had just kicked out the people that had been living there, smoking crack, no running water, all this stuff. So there was this empty house, and we asked if we could get a band started in that place and turn the electricity on. She said that was fine. So I remember me, my buddy Lake, my buddy Tom, and a local kid who had just finished high school in town, who was a drummer. We all piled up out there, got the power turned on in Lake's name, and went to the music store in Memphis and bought a few $1,000s worth of equipment on credit, and we just started jamming. I didn't play anything. I was the singer. I definitely wasn't very good at the time, but that was sort of my introduction to singing and performing as a musician. After that, maybe the next year, Lake gave me an old broken acoustic guitar for Christmas when I was 19, and I had to fix it. But when I fixed it, I started jamming. I was actually a resident advisor in the University of Memphis Student Apartments, and one of my residents was just a sick guitar player and musician named Alan Bundy, but we called him Al Bundy, and we just started jamming together. He started teaching me power chords and different things like that, and as I went along, I just started writing songs. As any new chord I would learn, I would write a new song using those chords, and so that was kind of the beginning of it. When you have a passion for something, it doesn't matter, what the tools are that you have to use. You pursue it regardless, and I should probably be better at guitar than I am right now for how long I've been playing, but I've just pursued what it was that I loved to do, which was be on stage.
So when you were talking about the records, what kind of musical influences? Was it like the Stones, Zeppelin?
Yeah, totally. Dad was all into Pink Floyd, the Rolling Stones. Led Zeppelin is my all-time favorite band. We had a bunch of Zeppelin records, Jethro Tull, the Doors, big Doors influence in my life. And then Mom was listening to John Denver and Neil Diamond.
Like Cat Stevens.
Cat Stevens is huge for me, one of my favorite songwriters ever. And so I think as an on-stage performer, I take after the rock legends, but as a songwriter, I'd more take after the Cat Stevens, the Neil Diamond, the John Denvers.
You have noticed your songs seem very, very personal, and some of them almost at the point of, heart, stopping, some of them. Can you maybe tell us about, kind of how that comes, how the songwriting process is?
I think a lot of people, they detail their life stories in a journal or blogs or however it is that they express themselves with regard to what's going on inside them. And for me, I've never really written in a journal. I've tried for a while. It doesn't really work well. But when something, when I write music, that's my journal. If you were to listen to the songs that I've written from the first until the most recent, those tell the story of my life. I wish I had more happy songs, but whenever I'm happy, I'm not really motivated to write.
It seems to be that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You have these happy moments, and you enjoy the happiness.
Yeah.
You don't actually, you don't.
It's funny.
You don't write them down or film them or whatever that may be.
Right. So sometimes, I had a job just recently, and it was kind of my first real corporate job, and it was just 9 to 5 every day for 2.5 years, and it started weighing on me, and it was like, God, how did it get to this point? How am I hating just the day-to-day grind? And so that's where the song If I Knew Now came in, where I'm talking about if I could only know, the words are, if I knew now what I knew then, I would laugh a little more often. It's kind of a play on, if I knew then what I know now, I would have done things differently.
Yeah.
Well, it's more like, if I now could have the mindset I had when I was a kid, life would be a lot better, because I wouldn't have all these worries, I wouldn't have the stresses, I wouldn't be working on paying bills or worried about war or all these different things that I didn't have to worry about when I was a kid.
Aaron Rose, everyone.
The song is called If I Knew Now. It was Saturday morning and I woke up late. Mama was cooking up pancakes. I wrestled with my brother in the living room. We took a break to watch cartoons. After breakfast I went outside, spent the whole day riding my bike. Come home for dinner when we run out of light, and catch fireflies all night. Those were the good old days when I still had a lot to learn. I've grown wiser with my age, but I gave something in return. If I knew now what I knew then, might laugh just a little more often. Wouldn't worry about what they're saying on the news. Never would I ever get the blues. In all senses bliss, and sometimes I wish it could be that way again. Life would be a whole lot simpler, knowing now what I knew then. Woo! A few years later I was headed out to Humpback Bridge to see some old friends of mine. Brought my truck on the side of the road and walked down to the creek. Ooh, summertime, bathing suits and Daisy Dukes, swinging from a grapevine. Grab a hold of an old inner tube and jump in, the water's fine. Those were the good old days, footloose and fancy free. I watched my friends grow up and change, but I never thought it happened to me. If I knew now what I knew then, might laugh just a little more often. Wouldn't worry about what they're saying on the news. Never would I ever get the blues. In all senses bliss, and sometimes I wish it could be that way again. Life would be a whole lot simpler, knowing now what I knew then. Those good old days, they've all passed me by, and I can't go back, but I can sure as hell try to see my world through my younger eyes. Woo! If I knew now what I knew then, might laugh just a little more often. Wouldn't worry about what they're saying on the news. Never would I ever get the blues. In all senses bliss, and sometimes I wish it could be that way again. Life would be a whole lot simpler, knowing now what I knew then. If I knew now what I knew then, might dance just a little more often. Wouldn't worry about the war or the bills or the news, and never would I ever get the blues. In all senses bliss, and sometimes I wish it could be that way again. Life would be a whole lot simpler, knowing now what I knew then. Things would be so much simpler.